Big stories, big pressure, big nights at Anfield. This is Anfield Central, your home for the latest Liverpool news, transfers and sharp analysis. No noise, just what matters to real Reds. So if you love Liverpool, hit subscribe and stay ahead of every story. Let's get into it.
Arne Slot must learn from Liverpool mistakes at Galatasaray after Steven Gerrard demand. Liverpool are preparing for a crucial Champions League last 16 clash against Galatasaray, and manager Arne Slot knows exactly how tough the challenge in Istanbul can be. Earlier this season, the Turkish side handed Liverpool a painful 1-0 defeat in the group stage, a match decided by a penalty from Victor Osimhen after a stray arm from Dominic Szoboszlai. At that time, Liverpool were flying, sitting top of the Premier League with 5 wins from their opening 6 games. But the defeat in Istanbul turned out to be a warning sign. It became the start of a poor run where Liverpool lost 4 matches in a row, including defeats to Crystal Palace, Chelsea and Manchester United. Slot's team selection that night also caused debate among supporters. The Dutch coach rotated heavily, left Mohamed Salah on the bench and used Jeremy Frimpong on the wing instead. Slot later explained that the busy schedule forced him to rotate because players cannot always handle 3 full matches within a week. However, ahead of this latest clash, another selection debate has emerged. Cody Gakpo has struggled for form recently, scoring just once in his last 10 games. At the same time, 17-year-old talent Rio Ngumoho has impressed whenever he's come off the bench. Ngumoho even caught the attention of Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard, who believes the youngster now deserves a start. Speaking on TNT Sports, Gerrard said Ngumoho is making a bigger impact in short cameos than Gakpo has in longer appearances. But Slot appears cautious about throwing such a young player into one of the most intense atmospheres in European football. The manager has warned that playing away at Galatasaray is extremely difficult because the noise and pressure from the crowd never stop. Liverpool will also be without goalkeeper Alisson Becker, who picked up an injury in training before the match. One thing is certain this time, Mohamed Salah is expected to start on the right wing. The big question now is whether Slot will trust experience with Gakpo or give the exciting Ngumoho his chance on a huge European night. So what do you think, Liverpool fans? Should Ngumoho start ahead of Gakpo in this match? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Liverpool update.
Liverpool lineups for Galatasaray as Florian Wirtz and Rio Ngumoho decisions made. Liverpool are preparing for another dramatic night in the Champions League as they travel to Istanbul to face Galatasaray in the last 16. It's a city that holds legendary memories for the Reds, but this season the trip has already brought disappointment after a 1-0 defeat earlier in the campaign. That earlier loss in Turkey still lingers in the background, and manager Arne Slot will be desperate for a stronger response this time around. The challenge will not be easy. Galatasaray arrive full of confidence after eliminating Italian giants Juventus in the playoff round, proving they can compete with Europe's biggest clubs. Because of that, Liverpool are expected to field one of their strongest possible lineups for the clash. One major change comes in goal. With Alisson Becker ruled out through injury, Georgian international Georgi Mamardashvili is set to step in for what could be the biggest game of his Liverpool career so far. Many believe the young goalkeeper could eventually succeed Alisson as Liverpool's long-term number 1, making this an important test under intense Champions League pressure. In defence, Ibrahima Konate is expected to partner captain Virgil van Dijk at centre-back, providing the physical presence needed against Galatasaray's attacking threat. At full-back, attacking option Jeremy Frimpong is one possibility on the right, while Milos Kerkez could start on the left to add energy and pace to the defensive line. However, there is still debate over who should start at right-back. Some believe Joe Gomez may get the nod instead, offering stronger defensive stability, while Frimpong could be used later in the game to stretch the opposition with his speed. In midfield, Liverpool are likely to rely on the combination of Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis Mac Allister and Dominic Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai is expected to play in a more advanced role again, providing creativity and attacking support behind the front line. Up front, the attacking trio could see Hugo Ekitike leading the line. On the right wing, Mohamed Salah remains a guaranteed starter and Liverpool's biggest goal threat. Meanwhile, exciting playmaker Florian Wirtz is tipped to start on the left wing, potentially ahead of Cody Gakpo. That selection could give Liverpool a more creative attacking edge as they try to break down a tough Galatasaray defence. Ultimately, Slot faces some big decisions, balancing experience, form, and tactical flexibility in one of the toughest away atmospheres in European football. And with a place in the Champions League quarter-finals at stake, every selection choice could prove decisive. So, Liverpool fans, what would your starting lineup be for this huge match in Istanbul? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Liverpool news and Champions League updates.
Revealed, huge Liverpool offer for Alessandro Bastoni will be accepted. Liverpool are once again being linked with a major defensive signing as the club reportedly continues to monitor Alessandro Bastoni ahead of the summer transfer window. However, prizing the Italian centre-back away from Inter Milan will not be easy. Sources suggest Liverpool would need to offer more than £80 million just to convince Inter to open negotiations. Bastoni is regarded as one of Europe's top defenders, and several elite clubs are expected to join the race if he becomes available this summer. Liverpool's interest in the 26-year-old is not new. Reports indicate that Arne Slot's side has tracked the defender for some time, but any potential deal could depend heavily on whether Bastoni himself wants a new challenge in his career. At the moment, Inter are determined to keep their star defender and are not actively looking to sell. Because of that, Liverpool may have to explore other options in the market while keeping Bastoni as a long-term target. One alternative that appears more realistic right now is Mickey van de Ven from Tottenham Hotspur. Liverpool are reportedly leading the race to sign the Dutch defender, who could be open to leaving Tottenham this summer. Interest is also coming from FC Barcelona, although financial restrictions at the Spanish club may limit their ability to compete with Liverpool for the deal. Van de Ven would still command a significant transfer fee, but sources believe his situation makes a move more likely than a deal for Bastoni at this stage. Strengthening the defence has become a major priority for Liverpool heading into the next transfer window. There are growing concerns about the future of Ibrahima Konate, who could leave the club on a free transfer, while Liverpool are also planning ahead for the eventual successor to captain Virgil van Dijk. That means bringing in a top-level centre-back could become one of the club's biggest transfer priorities this summer. Meanwhile, Liverpool are not expected to pursue a return for former academy defender Jarell Quansah. The 23-year-old joined Bayer Leverkusen for £35 million last summer, with the Liverpool including a buyback clause in the deal. Although the clause can be activated later this summer, current indications suggest the Reds have no immediate plans to bring him back to Anfield. Quansah has impressed during his first season in the Bundesliga, but not enough yet for Liverpool to reconsider their decision to sell him. So the big question now is where Liverpool will turn to strengthen their defence. Should the club spend huge money on Bastoni, or would Van de Ven be the smarter and more realistic signing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe.
Liverpool transfer news. Ibrahima Konate battle intensifies as new contract issue arises. Liverpool could be facing a major decision over the future of Ibrahima Konate as the defender's contract situation begins to attract serious attention from some of Europe's biggest clubs. The French centre-back is approaching the final stages of his current deal at Liverpool FC, and with his contract set to expire at the end of the season, uncertainty is growing around what happens next. Liverpool's hierarchy still view keeping Konate as a top priority. The club has been working behind the scenes to extend his stay and has reportedly offered its most lucrative contract proposal yet. However, negotiations have hit a major obstacle. Reports suggest that talks over a new deal have stalled for now, leaving the defender's long-term future at Anfield increasingly unclear. That uncertainty has quickly attracted interest from across Europe. Both Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain are monitoring the situation closely, while Inter Milan are also keeping a close eye on developments. Among those clubs, Real Madrid appear to be particularly serious about the opportunity. The Spanish giants are believed to have placed Konate high on their shortlist as they continue planning defensive reinforcements for the future. Inter Milan also have their own reasons to watch the situation carefully. The Italian club could soon lose both Stefan de Vrij and Francesco Acerbi as free agents, which would leave major gaps in their defensive line. Meanwhile, PSG are quietly waiting in the background as another potential destination for the French international.
Interestingly, some sources suggest that if Konate does leave England, he may actually prefer a move to another European club rather than returning to France. For Liverpool, the coming weeks could prove crucial. If the club cannot break the deadlock in negotiations, they risk losing one of their most important defenders, just as the team begins planning for the future of its backline. So, the big question for Liverpool fans is this: should the club do everything possible to keep Konate or start preparing for life without him?
Nnamdi Collins' response to surprising Liverpool transfer links speaks volumes. Liverpool's search for defensive reinforcements has sparked fresh transfer rumours, with Nnamdi Collins recently linked with a move to Liverpool FC. The 22-year-old Eintracht Frankfurt defender has also been mentioned as a potential target for Arsenal FC as Premier League clubs continue to monitor his development. But Collins has now responded directly to those reports, and his reaction was surprisingly calm. The German international revealed that he only recently became aware of the rumours and admitted he was actually surprised to hear about them. Speaking about the speculation, Collins explained that the transfer talk bounces off him and insisted that he is currently very happy at Eintracht Frankfurt. Even so, the growing interest in the defender highlights how highly he is rated across Europe. Reports suggest Frankfurt would demand around €60 million for Collins if any club seriously attempts to sign him. Liverpool's interest also comes during a period of uncertainty in the club's defence. Captain Van Dijk is approaching the later stage of his career, while questions remain about the futures of Joe Gomez and Ibrahima Konate. Konate in particular has been heavily linked with Real Madrid, raising concerns that Liverpool could soon lose another key defender. Because of that situation, the Reds have already started planning for the future. The club recently invested in young defenders like Giovanni Leone and Jeremy Jacquet as part of a long-term rebuild at the back. However, injuries have disrupted those plans, with both players suffering serious setbacks this season. Liverpool also tried to strengthen their defence previously by targeting Mark Guehi from Crystal Palace FC, but he ultimately joined Manchester City instead. All of this means Liverpool's defensive rebuild is still very much ongoing. So the big question now is whether the Reds will seriously move for Collins in the future or continue searching for other defensive targets. What do you think, Liverpool fans? Should the club sign Nnamdi Collins? Man United transfer news: Monaco rubbing hands as Red Devils Liverpool target £59 million winger. Magnez Akliouche is once again attracting major transfer attention after a standout performance against Paris Saint-Germain in Ligue 1, and several Premier League giants are now watching closely. The AS Monaco winger impressed in a 3-1 victory over PSG, continuing a strong return to form that has reignited interest from clubs across Europe. Last summer, PSG themselves attempted to sign the 24-year-old, but Monaco reportedly demanded around £59 million, a price that ultimately blocked the move. After staying in Monaco, Akliouche struggled for form for a period, going several months in Ligue 1 without registering a single goal or assist between November 2025 and January 2026. However, the French winger has since rediscovered his rhythm at a crucial moment. He delivered a goal and an assist across both legs of Monaco's Champions League playoff against PSG before repeating that impact again in their latest league clash. Those performances have now put him firmly back on the radar of several English clubs. Reports suggest both Manchester United and Liverpool FC are closely monitoring the situation ahead of the next transfer window. Liverpool, in particular, are believed to be evaluating attacking options as the club begins planning for a possible long-term successor to Mohamed Salah. Akliouche is reportedly on a shortlist alongside talents like Desiree Doué, Bradley Barcola and Michael Olise. At the same time, Manchester United are also searching for a versatile forward capable of playing across the attacking line. Other Premier League clubs are circling too, including Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United, which could trigger a competitive bidding battle. For Monaco, that growing interest could be perfect news, as the club may benefit from a Premier League bidding war for their talented winger. So the big question now is where Akliouche's future lies. Will he stay in France, or is a move to the Premier League inevitable? What do you think? Should Liverpool make a move for Magnez Akliouche? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Liverpool transfer updates.